Hi, I'm Dottie from Let's Go Ride a Bike, and I'll be talking about how to dress for winter cycling. I live in Chicago, Illinois, and the winters here are very cold. There's a lot of snow, and the temperatures, seems to me, from last winter, are always around 0 degrees Fahrenheit, at least in the single digits or the teens. Seems to be the warmest that it gets around late December, January, February, and even March. But I want to keep riding my bike, and I found that it's really not that hard to do. So I'm starting here with a typical outfit that I wear to the office. It's just regular clothes, but it is good material for winter cycling. There's a tweed dress, and the shirt is a silk cashmere blend. Both are good for staying warm, but not overheating. So what I start with, say this is what I'm wearing, I'm leaving, getting ready to bike to work. First thing I do are kick off the shoes. Unfortunately, I'm setting these shorter, but I can just put those aside in my bag. And then I go for the leggings. I have tights on already, but there's no way that's going to keep me warm. And Ollie is my assistant today. So these are very easy to put on. Just slip them on underneath. They're very lightweight, 100% wool. These ones are Patagonia wool, but you can get them at lots of places. And they're pretty tight, so they look like tights. I don't look like I'm walking around with pants under my skirt. Although honestly, I'm not too worried what I look like on my bike, because I'm on my bike. And I'm mostly worried about getting where I'm going without freezing. So there we have my tights on. You can see they're not too ridiculous looking. And then I go with the wool socks. Smart wool. Right here are 2 pairs. I always wear 2 pairs because my feet get cold. But I don't wear 3 pairs because that would make my boots too tight. And if there's no wiggle room in your shoes for warm air to build up, then your feet can actually be colder the more socks you put on. So I have these great boots. They're not cycling special anything. I bought them in Russia. They're very thick black leather with some sort of fake fur wool lining with very thick rubber soles. These, I guess, are just regular snow boots, but very heavy duty ones, and my feet are always warm. If it were especially cold, I could have put on these leg warmers. They're silk wool blend, and they just go up to my knee. I would do that before I put my boots on. The next step is a cardigan. This one is Ibex, and it's 100% wool. And this is really warm. You can't underestimate how warm wool is. So if it were maybe just hovering around freezing 30-something degrees, I could probably stop with this, not including accessories. But if it's pretty windy out or even colder in the 20s or so, then I would put on my windbreaker. This one is from Kraft, and it's super lightweight. It can roll up in a tiny little ball. And I like the colors, the dark brown with the pink, but it has reflective piping all over it that really stands out when a car's lights flash on it. And it really keeps out the wind. As it stands now, I'm very warm, and I could see myself overheating maybe if it's about 30 degrees wearing this. But I do always wear a scarf during the winter, unless I'm wearing a cowl neck sweater. I just fold it in half, wrap it around my neck, get my hair out of the way, and put one end into the loop and pull. And then I just wear it like that. It's not long enough to get caught in anything. And if my face gets cold, I just pull it up like that. Nothing fancy needed. It's just a wool scarf from the Gap. And usually this is the first to come off because my neck can get really hot. But I just pull over and take it off, no big deal. If it's super cold out, then I pull out my regular overcoat. It's wool, I've had it for years. It's an overcoat like everyone has here. And if I'm putting on this overcoat over everything else, that means that it's really cold out, below 0 degrees. If it's not really cold out, I'm not going to wear this overcoat because I'll get too hot. Unless I'm just going for a mile or 2 or 3 rides, then it's nothing extreme. I'm not going to overheat. I'm not going to freeze to death. I basically just dress as I dress if I were to take the L train. Next come the glove liners. These are wool silk blend. They're fine by themselves till about 40 degrees, but really they just keep my hands warm in the mitts. The mitts I'm very excited about. It's really better to have mitts to keep your fingers warm for heavy duty winter because again, your fingers are all friends and they can keep each other warm. These are Gore-Tex with goose down lining, goose down filling, not lining. And you know, they're big, but they'll keep my fingers warm, which is one thing that I could never really figure out last year. And I can still ride my bike with them. I mean, all I do is brake and hold onto the handles. It's not rocket science. And then I always have to wear these safety glasses, which I kind of hate, but I need to keep my eyes safe from the really cold wind. I don't want my eyes to freeze or water. They would just water and water the whole time. So I cover them. These aren't goggles or anything fancy. I got them for free. My husband had them for work, so I just took them over. And then I have this burn helmet. It has a neoprene liner inside to keep my head warm. Built-in ear flaps are great. I don't have to worry about carrying separate earmuffs. It definitely keeps my head very warm. Then I actually got to put these mitts on last because it's hard to navigate anything without them. So there I am. I'm ready to go. I just get on my bike and pedal, and people look at me like I'm crazy or really hardcore. I'm sure that's very hardcore. But it's not that big of a deal. And then I get to work, and I just start taking everything off. You know, it doesn't take that long. It's not a huge burden on my day. I carry a big purse or a canvas bag and just stash everything in there for the day. And really, if I meet friends somewhere and they've taken the bus, for example, then we all have to stand around for a little while and take off all of our layers. I'm really not wearing much more than they are. So it's not a big deal. I really encourage people to at least try riding in the winter because it's a lot of fun. You get to be outside at a time when nobody else is outside, when it's snowing and freezing and everybody's complaining and holing up inside like hermit crabs for the winter. Then I'm spending 2 hours every single day outside, and I'm seeing everything that they're missing. I'm seeing the beautiful landscape, Lake Michigan when it's frozen over. I'm seeing the snow when it first falls before it gets dirtied up by cars. And there's a really great solitude out there. Time for myself. Wide open bike lanes and bike paths, which are plowed here in Chicago, sometimes better than others. But it really keeps my mood up, and it allows me to eat lots of pumpkin pie and gingerbread cookies and everything that I love to eat without having to go to the gym, because who likes the gym? Nobody, not me at least. And then, you know, I get to work, shake out my hair, grab my bag. It's a good idea to carry an extra hat with me once I take off my helmet, because then my ears are cold. So I just carry that.